I think ABM is the most overrated acronym in marketing today because it is, and actually now I'm going to say something that sounds trite. ABM is B2B.
Oh, wow.
Because ABM was created, and you know what, now we're seeing in B2B the rise of companies accepting credit cards, and yes, some have freemium services, and so they literally are taking people, they are allowing for customers to become customers without them having their account and their company in their database. Us, no. Everyone talks to a sales rep, and you know what, the only way they talk to the sales rep is if their account is in our database. Therefore, literally everything we do by definition is account based. And so it just skews things because it creates this world where suddenly there's this top down pressure to have an ABM strategy when it's not contextualized to what you're doing today. And you're forced to hyper segment and do things that are artificial to what your buyer actually is. So if your buyer doesn't necessarily want to be segmented in a certain way because in their behavior, when you look at your cohorts and you don't really see one segment that you've artificially created behaving differently, then you don't need to treat them as a different cohort. And I think that we as marketers honestly make things really hard on ourselves, but having C-suite and boardroom pressure to have an ABM strategy because it's become table stakes, and look, the marketers behind ABM are good marketers. Like, I'll give them that. From that perspective, from a category perspective, wow.
Yeah.
I am impressed, but in practice, it is not really a strategy. I mean, it is the idea of knowing the companies that you want to sell to. In the old days, that was an ideal customer profile, like
ABM starts with ICP, no question.
always. And then, I mean, and we always have it on a spectrum. And if ABM wasn't an acronym, would we be doing anything differently today? No.
Yeah, I'll tell you my take on it, and you know that I talk about this a lot. The whole notion of the M, it's not ABM, it's just account base. People that were selling services in law firms 200 years ago did ABM. Like, it's people that's like, there's nothing new. I believe that the gap is, especially for larger, more institutionalized companies, is they hear this thing that says, oh, marketing shouldn't just bring us leads and then go get more leads. It's all about what you measure and how you work together.
Yeah, but I'm sorry.
It's not IBM. It's just marketing.
And exactly. And I just also think that, to your point, in the old days, when you didn't know and you couldn't control, before cookies and scraping and third-party intelligence services, sure. Okay, ABM maybe was differently because, again, someone could come to you and buy something and you didn't know who they were, or, with the rise of cloud. And so, but that doesn't mean we all do that. We don't go to market like that. Therefore, all we do is ABM. And it creates, I think, this, I always talk about, when I try to simplify for my team, and when we talk about I feel like one of the most ever complex subjects in marketing is roles and responsibilities, because, if you have a digital marketing team, well, today, that's silly.
Everybody's digital.
Or, you have an events team. Well, to have the event be successful, you need email, advertising. Mm-hmm. Everything is omnichannel. Everything is integrated. And so it causes, I feel like half the time marketers are just so busy figuring out who's supposed to be doing what that we forget to do the what. And ABM just creates one more point of friction, because now you have this horizontal function cutting across vertical channels, and you really can't have both. Like, you have to choose. Are you going to have your team and your execution happen by channel, which I fully do not believe in? Or are you going to have horizontals? And then are you going to have, your team be focused on different segments? And in that way, again, my team, the three marketers on my team who are focused on commercial and SMB, are they any less account-based than the two marketers that are focused on enterprise and expansion? No, the tactics are different. The
cost
is different, but they're still going after a defined territory and set of accounts. I think that it's just made it all the more difficult to explain to people outside of our world what marketing is. And it almost feels like in an effort to get us more credit, to your point, right? So that you could say you made this impact on this set of accounts. But in an effort to get us more credit, it actually makes us sound like all the less credible. Because when I try to explain it, I listen to myself and I think, wow, that sounds like bullshit, but it's the truth.